Well, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We have hit a new record on the S&P 500. On the NASDAQ challenges another record, and the market just can't stop, won't stop. What I have here in front of you is a year-to-date depiction of what the market has done this year. I do want everyone to keep in mind the fact that this is a heavily weighted indices, and that what you see here is not an accurate reflection of business as a whole, but rather what we see here is that we have some big winners, and what we're not seeing is a lot of losers. So I do want to highlight that. I do want to use this to welcome all of you back to the channel. This is Zach with Achilles Financial. I appreciate your support. Go ahead and drop a like down below. It's free and it helps me a lot. And what you're going to get to learn today is we're going to take a look at what factors are driving the market upward, what we saw happen in the market today, as well as the stock that I'm watching for later this week is actually not NVIDIA, although they do report tomorrow. I'm going to be watching them, but I am going to be watching Baba, or Alibaba, which is announcing earnings tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Thursday. So again, this video is being filmed on Tuesday, August 18th, and the Baba earnings are going to be this Thursday, the 20th. So let's dive into what's actually driving this market. Why does it look like this? Well, the big thing right now is we're looking at tech. I mean, if we look at the exact same tech companies that we're looking at here, again, over the course of the past year, just look at Microsoft. Again, all-time highs. What else is there that we want to be looking at? Amazon, all-time highs. Some of the big winners, Apple, all-time highs. So these are heavily weighted indices. So the S&P 500 is going to be showing these trillion-dollar companies continue to do well and continue to garner market share. And you can see that, again, it's just up and up and up. So Google actually, I'm surprised, hasn't had that record high again, although they haven't seen quite the same relief efforts for their computers or from the ad revenue. But it's just been insane. I'm going to throw Facebook results up here as well, just because they're one other company that really has broken out over the course of the past 2 months. The reason that I highlight all of this is to just remind everyone that just because you are missing out on the Apple play or you missed out on Tesla, there are still a lot of industries that have not come back yet, and we are going to see a number of plays to be made available throughout the remainder of this year as well as going forward. Again, the key to making money is long-term investing. Use that dollar cost averaging and apply it over time. Again, you aren't going to make your millions by timing this bottom perfectly, but rather you're going to make your millions by hitting every week, every month, and making sure that you're continuously adding to that long-term portfolio. Again, I don't know many people who time this bottom perfectly. I do know a lot of people who have been investing consistently over time, and that is when you're going to be making that money. Again, especially on those dividend-paying stocks. But enough talking about that long-term investing. What is the short-term item that we can do this week? So again, we've got some big movers this week. I do want to walk through some of the trades I made, but we'll do that when we go over to TD Ameritrade. I did sell out of some of the plays that we opened up yesterday, so we'll get to that. But first, if you look at Baba, this is the year to date. Again, they had that drop, but they have really come up over the course of the past month. Again, this move in July, this is really when we saw Amazon take off. Baba was a little bit of a leader, or rather a lagger. And so they came up with them, but now they are announcing earnings. So this really rip came when Amazon announced earnings. However, now we've got Baba going to announce earnings. So as you can see, they've kind of been trading in this range. This is an all-time high for them. What I'm interested to watch is if they report good earnings, are we going to see them continue to hit all-time highs, or are we going to see that it's already been priced in and they're not going to move? One of the things that we saw happen today with Baba is, again, they're starting to have some of that U.S.-China tension. So there was a little bit of a sell-off into the end of the day. I don't know if that's going to be a long-term problem for them from what I've read thus far, although that news only came out about 2 hours ago. I don't believe it's going to be a problem long term, but again, there is always going to be kind of that current animosity between the USA and China. So just be aware of that. I do think a lot of this move is priced in, but I would feel comfortable selling a call credit spread. So again, yesterday we talked about NVIDIA, the put side credit spread. I think on the call side, there's a little bit more of an advantage here. I would pick something a little bit farther out of the money just because this has the capability to move. I like the 80s, and this is what I was looking at earlier. So I would sell the 80s and I would actually buy the 85s. And you can see that right now that's running at right at 45 bucks. I still prefer the NVIDIA call spread or put spread, but you can see that that's been made here, and we have that capability to run the trade on BABA. So why do I like BABA? Well, let's go over into TD Ameritrade and see what we're looking at. So we're looking at BABA right now. Again, this is what we're expecting to see. And again, this is what we saw last quarter. As you can see, the spread in terms of expectations continues to widen. And whenever that happens, you're going to continue to see just the potential for a surprise. Although when they beat those upper ends, which as you can see the past 2 quarters, they've kind of done that substantially. I am interested to see kind of what happens going forward. Again, what are we going to do? But look how high some of these revenue these EPS announcements are. The reason that I highlight this is because they just have a lot of potential to continue to grow. And I think that Alibaba is probably the lead or the foremost competitor to the Amazons of the world. They're doing the exact same thing in China. They just are continuously dominant. The big thing that I think is going to be an obstacle for them is going to be the US-China politics. But right now, despite all of the heeing and hawing, there hasn't really been a lot of pushback on BABA, although that may change with some of the info that they were highlighting today. But just from a cash perspective, they have a lot of cash on the books, and you can see this again from a cash perspective here. They've just got a lot of potential to go out and to continue to operate in new markets, as well as to drive supply chain. And again, whenever we're looking at BABA, just think similar approaches to what Amazon has done. They've done a very good job of emulating them. The reason that I highlight this info is because I do like BABA. I am not currently long in them, so full disclosure there. And the reason for that is because, again, I tend not to invest in stocks that have this price point because I like to build up positions of 100 shares before I move on. And it is difficult for me to get to $26,000 or even actually more than that, to get to $268,000 when in the same vein, now that is 26,000, when in the same vein I can go out and keep buying up Bank of America, even though I don't think it has the same type of growth potential. But that's what I'm watching. I do think that we may see a breakout if they have a big beat, but I don't know if that's definitive as of yet. The other thing that I'm going to be watching is when they say what the expectation is going forward, or what the earnings report is going to be, what the forward-looking guidance is going to be. So that was BABA. The other thing that I wanted to showcase for everyone, because I do want to maintain my transparency, these are the trades that I've made over the past 24 hours. What I ended up doing yesterday is I bought that call spread for gold. I actually sold out or bought back on the downside today, the 30.50 one. And the reason for that, despite the fact that I paid $5 more for that, you can see that here, is because I'm already in the money on the other one. I anticipate selling out of that one tomorrow morning if it is up above $31 a share again, which is what it opened at today. I thought about selling out today for the actual spread, but it was only going to net me $17. And I think that there's still excitement surrounding gold. And by gold, again, I'm not talking about the commodity. I'm talking about Barrick Gold, which is who Buffett invested in. As you can also see, I'm still holding the Microsoft call option. I don't know if this is going to really move, but I am going to hold it just to see. And I sold out of that silver call option I bought yesterday. Again, I purchased that for $30, sold it for $47.33. So a nice little 58% return on investment. Those are my trades. Again, things that I'm watching for tomorrow is going to be, is the SPY going to break out, as well as what is going to happen with NVIDIA, and if I can get that $250 of free cash flow, I am looking to do that put spread. So let me know in the comments below what plays you're making, what your thoughts are on BABA, and if you're not a subscriber, please join.